With the recent declaration by Lomo that 120 is an endangered species, and best of all, them lowering the prices of all their color films, I wanted to try my hands on Lomo 400 and 800, mostly because I have not, and I'm pretty ashamed to say this, I have not shot Lomo 400 or 800 in the past. Actually, scratch that. I've shot some expired Lomo 400 and 800, but I haven't shot a fresh batch of this film. In Canada right now, it's the end of October, beginning of November, and what we have here is a beautiful fall season. The fall leaves are, they're not in bloom, they're actually dying. The leaves are dying, but once they're dying, they change colors and everything just starts to sparkle and look absolutely amazing. So I decided, you know what, this is the best time to actually go out and shoot these films, and that's exactly what I decided to do. But before I actually went out, I wanted to do a brief research, do a brief history of what this film actually is. Now, I know Lomo doesn't actually make the films themselves, because the only people that really make color film in today's society is Kodak. So upon doing some research, I couldn't find any conclusive evidence to see where this film stock is actually coming from. Some people say it's some old Kodak VR film, or it's actually Ultramax repackaged by Lomo. There's no definitive results. Lomo didn't say what it is. Kodak doesn't say what it is. So all I know is that it's some beautiful color film that gives you good results. There are two places I wanted to hit up. One of them is a park called Trinity Bell Woods. It's close to my work area, and there's always beautiful trees. There's people in the parks all the time. So I wanted to hit up that spot first. And the second spot I wanted to hit up was a spot close to my house. It's literally just a park across the street here in the suburbs. So I wanted to hit that park up because I knew the trees were going to be beautiful. For this shoot, I'm going to be using my Pentax 6x7 with the 75mm lens. That's the only lens I have for this camera right now, so that's why I'm using that. And this camera is actually such a beautiful camera when it comes to shooting medium format images, so I decided to take this with me to shoot this particular video. With this shot here, I really had to wait around for a little bit because there's people running by, there's people walking by. It's a park after all, and everyone's having a good time with the fall, with the weather. I love the way the orange and reds in this tree in the middle just stand out. I love the yellows, I love the green. Even the person sitting down at the table just give it different points of visual interest. That just makes this image stand out for me. I'm not too sure what I really like about it, but I just like the way everything comes together to make a beautiful image. I think it's a better shot from this angle. I'm just gonna frame out these garbage cans right there and maybe get both trees in the shot. But yeah, I like the shot from this angle. With this shot right here, as I was saying in the clip that you just heard, I had to frame out the garbage cans to the left, but what I was really looking for was symmetry. When I'm taking photos, I'm always looking for lines, looking for things that tie in the picture together, looking for different points of interest so the image is not just a random picture of a tree. For this image, I love the way the reds and the oranges of the tree in the front, in the middle, tie into the tree in the back. I love the way the greens of the tree in the back tie into the trees in the further back. And I also like the way the leaves on the ground are all scattered. At this park, there's a lot of dogs, there's a lot of people walking around. So I really had to wait and take my time in order to get this particular shot. I even had to wait for the sun to come out a little bit so I can get a little bit of shadow on the trees on the floor to give it an overall proper look. I really like the way this one turned out. This image is quite possibly my favorite image that I shot from both of these two rolls, with another contender coming on later. But this one is actually my favorite one on this Lomo 400 roll. I love the points of interest. You have 3 points of interest, one in the background, one in the middle, one in the foreground. There's 3 things that you can look at. The colors of the trees, obviously, because you know it's fall, but also the way the leaves in the front are sort of framing the picture, framing the image. If there was any image from this roll that I was going to print, which I like to do, I do love to print my images. I don't do color printing right away, right now. I do have some RA4 chemistry coming, so I can do some color printing, so stay tuned to the channel for more. But if there's any image I was going to print on this particular roll, it would be this one. At the second spot, which was on a completely different day, I loaded up the Lomo 400. I walked around this path, or this park that I went to. It's not really a park, it's literally just like a path, like a, what do they call a place where you walk through? I guess it's a path, a trail. It was a trail in between this park that led to another park that connected to different areas of Mississauga, here where I live in. So I just walked through this path, walked through this trail, and got a couple of shots. I'm liking this shot here. Maybe this will be my first shot. Let me set up here. For these 2 first images that I took on this roll, I like them, but I don't really like them. The thing I don't like about these images is the little white things that you see on the ground there. I'm not quite sure what they are. I'm sure it's some environmental thing that the parks and recreation people are taking care of. I'm not sure if they call it parks and recreation, but Mississauga parks are taking care of to make sure that the trees grow nicely. But I don't like them. I noticed them, but I didn't think there would be such standing out things. All I noticed when I look at this image are just these white things standing out. I love the colors of the trees. I love the way everything stands out. But if I was to retake this image, I would probably try to compose this image. Probably not even take this picture, but try to recompose it without the white things showing in the image. This shot of the bench here is probably my favorite shot on this roll. And again, if I was going to print any image on this roll, it'll probably be this one. This one's actually interesting because I wasn't actually going to shoot this. Mostly because I didn't really like the way the wind was blowing and the way everything was coming together. It just didn't stand out to me. But as I actually composed it, walked away from it, went around, and it was getting really cold. I'm like, I got one shot left. Let me just take this one. So I spent my time, composed it. I was going to take the whole bench. And I said, no, let me take it vertically. Let me take this bench, make it look like someone's sitting right there in the middle, like a ghost or something. I composed it, took the shot, and I'm like, it's whatever. I come back, I take a look at it, and I really, really like the way this one turned out. There's something eerie about it. There's something about the leaves. There's something about the trees. There's just something about the whole thing that I really, really like. And I don't know, it's just a bench in a park. I like it. What do you think? Let me know. I developed both of these film stocks myself using the Tatanol C41 kit. I scanned them using the Epson V600 scanner here at home, and all in all, it was a smooth process scanning and developing both of these film stocks. In terms of the results I was able to get, now you've seen a couple of the shots I was able to get, but the results are actually breathtaking. I don't even know what I was expecting, but I for sure was not expecting this. Now I've shot almost all the fresh 120 color film that you can get your hands on. I've shot Portra, 160, 400, 800. I've shot Hector, I've shot Pro 400H, I've shot Cinestill. And Lomo is actually the only one that I've never really shot before. So going into this, I wasn't really expecting anything because, you know, people always say Portra is the best film stock out there. But for me, Portra is kind of basic. And I'm not trying to bash Portra or anything. Maybe that's because I see a lot of people posting Portra images, so it's become like the standard. Now, seeing the images from this Lomo film stock got me thinking, like, when I imagine what color film looks like, this is what I want it to look like. Right? The images that I got, the colors, the representation, what I was able to get, what I'm seeing in this image is actually shocking because I'm really, really liking them. I really like the way that this Lomo film rendered out the colors, especially the 400. The 400 got me really, really close to what I was imagining, what I was seeing on the day of, more than the 800. But the 800 also provided more value and provided more colors, more vibrancy, allowed me to do things that I wasn't imagining I was able to do. Like going into this, I wasn't really hyped to shoot this. I was like, let me just see what I was able to get. And seeing the results after the scans were coming in, I'm really, really liking it. Usually I don't really shoot a lot of color film in 120. I don't really shoot a lot of color film in general, but seeing the images, seeing the colors, seeing the representation, I'm starting to understand why people like color. I'm starting to understand why people really like Lomo film, and I like it. I've actually even gotten another roll of Lomo 400 that I'm going to be shooting with my family when we go out to the farm in a couple of weeks, or at least I think this weekend. I'm not sure. I have to check with the wife. But I love it. I love me some Lomo 400. I love me some Lomo 800. If I had to pick one of these two, I think, I'm going to go with Lomo 400, mostly because it gets me close to what I'm seeing without having to do too many tweaks in post-production. Let me know what you think about Lomo 400 and 800. I'm really, really liking this, and I think I found my go-to 120 color film stock. Lomo 400, it's you. That brings me to the end of this video. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you made it this far, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for, man? Subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for even making it this far in the video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, make sure you shoot film. Make sure you stay safe. And make sure you check out my blog, FilmStockReel.com, because I'm going to be posting all the photos on there. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.